I'm not sure about this, but from a personal point of view, I just do as much as I can, bearing in mind my age, which is 66. Yes, there are days when I definitely feel 66, but mostly I don't think too much about my age. I sort of know that I'm coming closer to what will be the end of my life, whenever it is. But I have to be honest, in my case, I'm probably fitter now than I was when I was certainly in my 40s, because I had to have some serious surgery at that point because I'd been ill with Crohn's disease, and so I went through surgery to have the piece removed and that kind of thing. But anyway, the upshot is that 10 years later I had that reversed, and so I had to recover from that again. So over those 20 years and more, my health was not good, whereas now my health is reasonably good. I do have atrial fibrillation, but to be honest, it doesn't occur very often and usually doesn't last terribly long. It used to last about 6 or 7 days. Now it's more like maybe a day, 2 days at most, and sometimes even shorter than that, and doesn't occur all the time. So I don't do too badly health-wise, with the help of medication, of course. So, yeah, that's a good question. But you're right. When I look back to certainly my grandmother's generation, although I say that, she did always seem old to me, but then again she had a stroke in her 60s, so I don't really remember her being fully physically able. In those days they didn't understand to move people quickly, and so she was always paralysed down her right hand side. So to a child, that made her seem older than she was. And certainly two of my aunties, who were girls she took on when she married my grandfather, they seemed old because they were quite a bit older than my mum, so they seemed quite old. But I don't know, you see, we can only look at it from ourselves, can't we? I'll ask my granddaughter and grandsons what they think when I speak to them next, and see whether they see me as old, what they see when they look at me, because we can only sort of know that we maybe don't perceive ourselves to behave and to look and to think as our older relatives did when we were younger. So I think it's a relative thing. So it would be interesting for me to find out how my